Yeah, I think obviously, it's more than a game. It's, rivalry, but I think, it was kind of nice to have a midweek game to kind of break up the week a little bit and have, not put all of our focus into, this weekend. But at the same time, we know what kind of opponent they are and it's going to be a good game. But to be back home and in front of the fans and, what it means to them and what they're going to bring. So, yeah, it's exciting. Looking forward to it for sure.
Can you talk about the energy you see from the fan base and the week leading up to this game?
Yeah, it means a lot to them. You definitely feel it. You definitely, see it, especially once, you kind of get around the stadium, especially on Saturday. They're amazing. I think it's part of our reason why we have a great start. We've had a great start to the year. It's because of them. Week in, week out, they're there. They're supporting us no matter what. And yeah, it's going to be the same on Saturday, and looking forward to it.
And I know Cincinnati has changed a little lineup-wise, but just what do you expect from them just based off the past matchups you've had with them?
Yeah, they have a really good DNA, really good identity, similar to us. They have a style of play that they're very good at, and they lost some players, but they replaced them with the same quality. So it's going to be the same focus that we've had in years past.
And I know the first half against Montreal was a little rough for you guys, but you kind of just has to change so it doesn't start like that against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think just our mentality, our collectiveness as a group. We talked a lot about running together and making smart runs and being just mentally focused from the start. Through the whole team, starting from warm ups. So I think just kind of getting in that groove early before we step out into the pitch.
When you say running together, can you kind of elaborate on that?
Without giving tactics and stuff, but yeah, I think just reading each other's game. If one's making a movement or the way that they're faced, the other's got to be face the opposite or doing the opposite. So just kind of being together and kind of being on the same page as the other, if that makes sense, without giving away too much. But
you grew up in St. Louis, big sports town. You played multiple sports. What were some of the rivalries in different sports that you paid attention to as a kid?
Everything against Chicago. Cubs, Blackhawks, Bears, whatever it was. Definitely, still to this day, pay a lot of attention to those, especially because Rumsey, our trainer, is a big Blackhawks fan. So we have a little banter going around every time they play. But I'd say those in the professional world for sure. Mizzou, Illinois in college, but in Kansas, Mizzou versus Kansas, big one as well.
And when you talk about pro sports and the rivalries between like the Cardinals and the Cubs, you're talking about headliner games. These are 4-game homestands that the whole nation's paying attention to. The game you play in tomorrow night is a national rivalry. It's ranked among the best in the league. Could you have seen yourself being a part of something like this when you were a kid?
I dreamed about it for sure.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, as a kid, it was just a dream. And to be in it right now, it's awesome. And like you said, the national headlines that this game brings, it's more than just it's what you dream of, but it's more than just the people inside this building. It's the cities, and knowing what it meant to me as a kid to see those rivalries. It's what you inspire to for the next generation to come.
You and Roman Celentano are among the best young goalkeepers. You have been for the last year and a half at least. In the league, what does it take for an aspiring goalkeeper to be at the level that you're at and be so well regarded, not just within the country, but now being identified outside the country?
Yeah, I think it's obviously it's just a day in day out work. It's funny because I played against Roman since we were 10 years old, 11 years old.
Travel soccer?
Yeah, because grew up in Chicago and they were in our region.
Mm-hmm.
Or he was a year older, but played against his club. So I'd watch him play, and because we would just stay around, watch the older teams, and travel back. So I think just, like the patience, obviously, that it's not going to happen overnight, but also just the hard work that it takes. It's not just going to, happen overnight, but it's the day in, day out preparation. And, just once you get to that stage, it's now how can you maintain it and stay mentally locked in and not be satisfied. Have a lot of conversations with him, and he's super humble, super great guy. And it's definitely inspiring just to, kind of have a companion, fellow, competitor, but, friend that you can kind of go through with it together.
I don't know how often you played each other, but Indiana and SLU are both known for their soccer programs. And so it is kind of interesting that your paths have been so parallel. Really.
Yeah. We never played against each other in college, but I had many, many, many buddies that went to Indiana. So, I had fair share of conversations and watched a lot of his games.
Yeah. Well, good luck and have fun tomorrow.
Thank you.
Patrick, coaches talked about provoking emotions when you guys are out there on the field. Coming into this rivalry this week, going around the city, what's the emotion been like, seeing, from the fans for Hillsville?
The excitement, the passion that they have. It's more than just a game to them. It's a heated rivalry, of course, but the emotions and the way that they care about this city, they care about Columbus, the way that they want to see us do well. It kind of just gives you that feeling, gives you the chills that you're doing it for them. Like this game isn't just another game. It's not just for the guys in the locker room or the table in the standings. It's for the fans and the people outside around the city.
And you guys had the midweek match before a rivalry game. Do you think that helps you guys a little more, or do you think it might, tire a little bit?
I wouldn't say tire, because for a derby you're gonna get up for it regardless. But I think it was good to have it's not a distraction, but to have your focus not just looking forward, going from Saturday to Saturday, going from Saturday. Okay, now our focus shifts to Wednesday. Okay, now we put all of our cards on the table for hell is real.
And, coming into the rivalry, it's been like almost a movie the last 3 seasons, since you've been with the team. What do you do anything different, versus just a regular game?
No, I try and just keep it simple. I like being at home for sure. Just make dinner and play Xbox with my friends back home, honestly, and just try and unwind and not focus too much on the game until it needs to be focused on.
And you talk about being friends with Roman. That goes out the window during a rivalry. But what's it like, knowing that you have that friend across from you?
Oh, it's great. And honestly, it's been nice now. 3 years in the league, you've made some friends around the league, and it's someone that you can just bounce ideas off of, talk to, go through challenges together. But obviously, yeah, once you step on the pitch against each other, for the 90 minutes, 120 minutes, it's competitors.